भक्तवृंदा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय गौरनिताय जय गौरनिताय जय राधा माधव राधे राधे जय राधा श्याम सुंदर राधे राधे जय राधे जय श्री राधे जय जय प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय गुरुदेव जय जय गुरुदेव निताय गौर हरि बोल।
Thank you so much, Sindhu Mataji. I'm very grateful to you for this kirtan. So we'll begin with our invocation prayers, and then we'll start with our shlokas which we are assigned today. Hope I'm audible. Can you let me know, Mataji? I'm audible? Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji. Yes, Mataji.
Oh, thank you so much. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमस्तुते सप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय I'm truly grateful to ICF authorities for giving me a chance again to be in the midst of you all. It's really a delight to be there with you all today on this auspicious Monday, Shravan month, and we are discussing Rudra Geet, fortunately. So it is such a wonderful session that is happening currently. So firstly, we try to recap a little bit because last week, abhi yaad hai humko thoda bahut, can we recall what we have done in the last few classes, at least the last class, which Her Grace Sugna Vrinda Mataji took, I believe. So any recollections? What are we doing currently? Okay, so we just saw that how prachetas have been asked by their father Prachina Barhi, asked them to, before taking the responsibility of the grahastha life and of the kingdom, to perform austerities. And as they were going, they happened to fortunately meet Lord Shiva. So we continue further today, and we see what the verses, how the verses enlighten us today. We will go further discussing 30th through 33 verse. So 4.20, 4.30. I will say the verse. Somebody can repeat after me. Okay. अथ भागवतायूयं प्रियास्थ भगवान् यथा नमद्भागवतानां च प्रेयान् अन्योऽस्ति कर्हिचित्. Anybody would like to recite?
अथ भागवतायूयं प्रियास्त भगवान् यथा नमद्भागवतानां च प्रेयान् अन्योऽस्ति कर्हिचित्. May I
Fantastic.
read the
Thank you, Mataji.
translation, Mataji?
Yeah, please read the translation as well. Yeah.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. You are all devotees of the Lord, and as such, I appreciate that you are as respectable as the Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself. I know in this way that the devotees also respect me, and that I am dear to them. Thus, no one can be as dear to the devotees as I am. Hare Krishna.
Somebody else would like to read the purport, please, quickly.
Shall I, Mataji? Purport.
Please.
Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. It is said, Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambhu, Lord Shiva is the best of all devotees. Therefore, all devotees of Lord Krishna are also devotees of Lord Shiva. In Vrindavana, there is Lord Shiva's temple called Gopiswara. The gopis used to worship not only Lord Shiva but Katyayani or Durga as well, but their aim was to attain the favor of Lord Krishna. A devotee of Lord Krishna does not disrespect Lord Shiva, but worships Lord Shiva as the most exalted devotee of Lord Krishna. Consequently, whenever a devotee worships Lord Shiva, he prays to Lord Shiva to achieve the favor of Krishna, and he does not request material profit In Bhagavad Gita 7.20, it is said that generally people worship demigods for some material profit. Kamaisatais tair rata jnana prapadyanti nya devataha. Driven by material lust, they worship demigods. But a devotee never does so, for he is never driven by material lust. That is the difference between a devotee's respect for Lord Shiva and an asura's respect for him. The asura worships Lord Shiva, takes some benedictions from him, misuses the benedictions, and ultimately is killed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who awards him liberation. Shall I continue, Mataji?
Yeah, please. There's one more paragraph. Yeah.
Because Lord Shiva is a great devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he loves all the devotees of the Supreme Lord. Lord Shiva told the Prachetas that because they were devotees of Lord, he loved them very much. Lord Shiva was not kind and merciful only to the Prachetas. Anyone who is a devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is very dear to Lord Shiva. Not only are the devotees dear to Lord Shiva, but he respects them as much as he respects the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Similarly, devotees of Supreme Lord also worship Lord Shiva as the most dear devotees of Lord Krishna. They do not worship him as a separate personality of Godhead. It is stated in the list of Nama Apradhas that it is an offense to think that the chanting of the name of Hari and the chanting of Hara or Shiva are the same. The devotees must always know that Lord Vishnu is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and that Lord Shiva is his devotee. A devotee should be offered respect on the level of Supreme Personality of Godhead and sometimes even more respect. Indeed, Lord Rama, the personality of Godhead himself, sometimes worshipped Lord Shiva. If a devotee is worshipped by the Lord, why should a devotee not be worshipped by other devotees on the same level with the Lord? This is the conclusion. From this verse, it appears that Lord Shiva blesses the Asura simply for the sake of formality. Actually, he loves one who is devoted to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranams Mataji.
Thank you so much, Mataji, for taking us through the purport. Yeah. So, who's speaking these lines actually? Who's talking and to whom?
Lord Shiva is telling it to the Prachetas, the
Perfect,
descendants of.
Mataji. Thank you. Perfect. Yeah, the conversation is happening. Lord Shiva is speaking to them. And here in this verse, the very first line of the purport says, it is said, Vaishvanam Yatha Shambhu, Lord Shiva is the best of all devotees. So, can we understand why do we take Lord Shiva as best of all the devotees? How do we understand this? It's just a first statement of the purport, but let us understand it also that why do we take.
Because
Pardon?
he's got more qualities than the other lords, or
He has many spiritual
yeah.
qualities, or spiritual qualities, Vaishnava, topmost devotee. So, what qualities do we expect from a devotee? We are all trying to be aspiring to be Vaishnavas, devotees. So, he is topmost devotee. So how do we understand what qualities can be? There are innumerable, but primarily few we should focus on, and we should try to see through whatever instances are there in the Shastras given about Lord Shiva. So
Mataji, he
first one,
spoke about Bhagavatam to Parvati Mata. So actually, any Vaishnava devotee will definitely speak about Srimad Bhagavatam. They will always speak about Lord Krishna. So we have seen
thank you,
in
Mata.
many that Lord Shiva has narrated Bhagavatam to Parvati Devi, and Shuka parrot was listening and all that. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yeah. So a devotee will naturally share whatever he hears. That treasure, he will, spiritual treasure, he is always sharing with everybody. This is a good point. So I'm just whatever few points that I've picked up. You all also definitely have, because these are innumerable. He is a mine of spiritual qualities. But let us see a few of them, because we have to run through other verses as well. So understanding Lord Shiva's qualities, first one could be compassion. If we look through the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam, we have understood during Samudra Manthan what happened. The poison came out initially, and the Devatas approached Lord Shiva to help them. What did Lord Shiva do? Just for the benefit of the three worlds, just to protect, he just came and he took the concentrated poison just for the benefit of all the other living entities. Samudra Manthan was happening between Devatas and the Asuras, and Lord Shiva was nowhere near in that scenario. He was sitting in Kailash. But he does this, and this is an act of compassion, Another thing that we can think of is, mostly, if I don't know if you all are aware, but it is given in the scriptures that whoever quits his body in Kashi, so Lord Shiva makes him chants Lord Ram's name in his ears right before he quits, that the living entity is quitting the body, so that that living entity can be liberated from the cycle of birth and death. So that is so much of an compassion. He has done basically in Kashi for many, many kalpas, he has done penance there, Lord Shiva. When Lord Vishnu appeared, Lord Shiva, what boon has he asked? That I should be, whoever is quitting this body in this abode of Kashi, I should be able to help him to remember Lord Ram. I will chant the holy name of Lord Ram in his ears, and so that he's freed from this material existence. So that is compassion. He's eager to deliver the living entities and help them to go back to the spiritual abode of the Supreme Lord. So this is the highest compassion that Lord Shiva is exhibiting. The next quality that we could think of is he's so detached. Why is he so detached? How can we conclude he is detached? Any inputs?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Release
Yes,
Pranams
Prabhuji,
Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna
Hare
Mataji. Prabhu Mataji, maybe he has renounced everything. He leading life very, very simple. He is not expecting anything else. He just particularly he is residing in the cremation ground. So that itself shows.
Basically, he's Digambar. He's just, what ornaments does he have? He's just having snakes around him as ornaments. He doesn't have a fixed home. He's just living in Kailash on a mountain, probably even under a tree. So there is a story also given in some Puranas where Mother Parvati one day asked Lord Shiva that, Swami, we don't even have a home. So he says, okay, Devi, do you desire for a home? And instantly by this desire itself, there was a big, beautiful floating palace manifested. The palace is so beautiful, and it was filled with gems and pearls and beautiful precious stones. Mother Parvati says, so can we have our Graha Pravesh? He says, yes, it is all ours. So as they go in, and as Grasta couple, what will they do? They invite Vaishnavas, they invite Brahmanas for the bhojan. And then when many Brahmanas, they were fed there, obviously they gave them dakshinas. But one particular Brahmana who came, he was so fascinated by this bhavan of Lord Shiva and Mother Parvati. And he's asking, can I have this palace, this bhavan for myself? Lord Shiva, just without second thought, yes, please have it. And they were back again under the same tree where they were earlier. So his renunciation, his detachment is to that extent, He is just not, he may fulfill material desires of demonic people. We'll come to that point in the purport given, but for himself, he is completely detached. So a Vaishnava is ideally a Vaishnava of Lord Shiva's caliber, topmost devotee, is detached. Next, he likes to see only good in a person. We've been told by our teacher many times the story that there was a thief who was always stealing bells from the temple. And there was this one Lord Shiva temple, pretty dilapidated in the middle of the forest. But there was a golden bell there. This thief had observed that. That night he decides to steal that bell. And when he goes there, it's pretty high. How do I reach? So he is not worried. Kya hai niche? He just climbs over something and he's trying to reach that bell. That very moment, Lord Shiva appears with a trident in his hand. And he is really bewildered and kind of scared. What happened? How come Lord Shiva appeared? He's saying, Lord, I'm not stealing. I'm not stealing. Actually, there was little dirt over there on the bell and I was just cleaning that. Lord Shiva was only smiling. He's saying, Lord, one thing I don't understand is how did you manifest? I mean, he understands I'm a thief. For me, how can Lord Shiva manifest himself? So Lord Shiva tells, see, people come to me, they offer me bela leaves, they offer me Ganga Jal, they will offer me fruits. But you have offered yourself fully on me. Actually, what he stood on to reach the bell was a Shivalinga. He put his feet on the Shivalinga and he tried to pluck that bell from top. And Lord Shiva took it in what sense? That, oh, you offered yourself fully over me. Your entire existence you've given over to me. So I'm so pleased. Ask me what you want. So the thing is, material people or people who are so in conditioned stage, if it is a white piece of cloth, there is one black dot, our focus will go there. But Lord Shiva is like a black cloth which has a very tiny white dot here. His focus is on that. Now, what qualification did this thief have? He had no qualifications, but the Lord was pleased with him. He'd come to only steal. So this is called a fly mentality or a bee mentality. The flies, what do? They just go on the dirt. Everywhere they will sit wherever there is filth. But the bee will go to every flower in the garden looking for the nectar. So that is Lord Shiva. He's always looking for the good in any person. What other qualities you all could think of in the meantime? So as I said, there are quite a lot of qualities, Vaishnava qualities in him. The biggest and the topmost quality which every Vaishnava, and Lord Shiva being Param Vaishnava, so he is hankering for the Lord. See, when Lord Krishna advent happened in Gokula, everybody came to see him. Even Lord Shiva comes in his, he wants to have the darshans of the baby form of the Lord. And we know the whole story that how Mother Yashoda tries to keep him away. She feels little Lala will get frightened seeing the form of this Yogi Baba. He comes disguised, but still there were snakes and still he looked pretty fearful. So, but he was very fixed on this one thing. Until and unless I get the darshans of Lala, I will not budge from it. Just hankering to see the Lord. Another pastime that we see from Srimad Bhagavatam is of Lord Shiva is Gopeshwar Mahadev. We see one time Lord was seated in Kailash in his trance, in his meditation on the Lord, but the flute of Supreme Lord Krishna, when he was playing the rasa, it captures his mind, it mesmerizes him. He comes to Vrindavan, but in Vrindavan there is only one Purusha, that is Supreme Lord, and Rasa Mandal who can enter. So that time Lord Shiva composes Radha Kripa Kataksha prayer to please Radha Rani. And then Vrinda Devi takes him and makes him take a dip in the Yamuna, and he is transformed into a gopi. He is ready to take a gopi form. Imagine his gender is changed. He is ready to take that gopi form because his hankering is so much for the Lord. And then, of course, it got revealed later on that it is Lord Shiva, and he agrees to be the gatekeeper of Vrindavan and the Rasa Mandal. So that is his anchoring. He is not worried what will people think. They will laugh at me if I become gopi. No, nothing of that sort. Puja, labh, pratishtha se to Bhagwan bahut dur hai Shiv ji. He is fixed in his service. He just hankers for Lord and his devotees, of course. And then what else we can see about Lord Shiva? Any other thing? Hankering for the association of the devotees. This is so important for Vaishnavas, right? We all have experience. We love to be in the association of devotees. So there's this pastime when Sanatan Goswami was there at Govardhan, and Lord Shiva would be coming and having his association. He would be chanting. Imagine Acharya Goswami, he's chanting, he's writing his books in solitude. But next day, Sanatan Goswami decides to leave that place. Why? Because that cave had too many mosquitoes. So Lord Shiva appears in his dream and tells, please don't leave this place and go. I will fix all the things. There will be no more mosquitoes. So Lord Shiva's hankering for association of these devotees because they are chanting and Lord doesn't want to be bereft of their association. And then Lord Shiva, as the Leela goes, he ensures with the demigod of the mosquitoes that till date at that Chakleshwar Mahadev temple, that in and around that area, there are no mosquitoes. So this is few qualities that we can see. We have to go further. So then we saw in this purport that devotees respect Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva loves devotees. As a result, he has manifested in front of Prachetas. As Vaishnavas, what is our duty? We have been taught to even give respect to an ant. What to speak about exalted position of Lord Shiva and all the other devatas also. But the thing is, what is the motive behind approaching them? If we are approaching any devata, what is the motive behind that? Are we approaching them for some material desire? Then it is not bona fide. But the example given in the purport was of which devata? Of who could recall the purport? What example is given in the purport? The gopis approach whom? Are you all there with me? Haribol. The gopis approached Katyayani Devi, and this Katyayani Vrata they kept in the month of December, Magh month. It is the coldest time in Vrindavan, and they are taking early morning dip in Yamuna and the fasting. And what for they are doing? To attain the favor of Lord Krishna. Patim me kurute nama. Katyayani Mahamahi Mahayogi Nadishwari Nanda Gopa Sutam Devi Patim me kurute nama. We aspire that Nanda Sutta, the son of Nanda Maharaj, as our pati. We want him as our husband. So that was their desire. So that is good. Any devata, if we are approaching in connection or for the favor of Supreme Lord Krishna, then there is nothing wrong. But as Vaishnavas, we need to give perfect respect and honor to all the devatas. This is very important point. I need to share with you one beautiful example of some very exalted devotees. So there is this is about the year 2000, 24 years back. This is Srila Prabhupada's one disciple. He decides to go to Kailash, Mount Kailash, to circumambulate Mount Kailash. It's a pilgrimage, which many people take up that journey. It is 53 kilometers, that circumambulation. And then what happens is, it is a very tough, I don't know how many of you know about Mount Kailash Yatra, Mansarovar Yatra. It is a very austere, very intense journey. There are landslides, there are freezing temperatures. There is it is at the height of beyond 21,000 feet. So the oxygen is also less there. There are breathing problems for people, but still the Shivites, and even as I'm sharing this story, which I have read and heard, this devotee desired to go to for this Kailash Yatra. Now see, we'll understand what was his motive. Bearing all these hardships, when he reaches there is one sthali there one place there in Mount Kailash, which is called Shivasthali, where everybody will leave some piece of cloth. And what is the ritual basically? The ritual is that you are praying to Lord and you are shedding your false ego. The ritual signifies that. So there, going there and making what now this devotee, what offering did he make? He made the offerings of his gloves and the socks. What prayer did he make to Lord Shiva? He made a prayer that between these socks and gloves is something that is composed only of matter. If we put socks, it is over our legs. If we put gloves, it is over our hands. So whatever is between these socks and gloves is something that is composed of only matter. And it is this matter which comes in the way of me and my Supreme Lord Krishna. O Gopeshwar, O Bhuteshwar, please bestow upon me the love for the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. This was his prayer. He has written it in his diaries. So this is how a Vaishnava will have. Lord Shiva is the Vaishwanam Yatha Shambhu. A Vaishnava will approach only for asking for progress and advancement in devotional service. So this I thought I will share with you all. And he is today an initiating guru and very, very respectable Srila Prabhupada disciple. Another example that we see from the purport is, what is the position of the demoniac people or the hardcore materialist? Why do they approach Lord Shiva? Why do they approach Lord Shiva?
For fast, immediate results.
To get benedictions early.
Yeah, benedictions very
Yes,
fast.
yes, yes. Thank you, both of you, Prabhuji and Mataji. So yes, they need they want to fulfill their material desires, and they are at times foolish to ask many. We have seen many examples of Ravana. We have seen examples of Jayadratha. We have seen many examples, Banasur, who took boons from Lord Shiva. Vrikasur story you all must have by now, some previous speaker must have already shared. That how foolishly ask the boon from Lord Shiva. They do penances and very weird kind of penances they do. They cut their limbs and put and as offer as oblations. And Lord Shiva is ideally not pleased with them, but then he is obliged to grant them material benefits. But it leads to what? Devastation and their deaths. It is given in the purport. So it's not going to give them any help. And what does Bhagavad Gita say? Antavata tu phalam tesham tad bhavati alpamedasam. Alpamedasam, unko buddhi nahi hai. They are less intelligent. Antavantu means it is temporary. For some temporary and limited benefits, they are doing all these penances and taking boons from Lord Shiva. And this definitely doesn't please Lord Shiva. But he grants them. And he knows Lord will take care of that foolishness of theirs. So this is what we see. The demons have all the material desires and they approach Lord with those desires in their hearts to be fulfilled. Now, Lord Shiva is in this verse also saying that he likes prachetas and he likes all the devotees of the Supreme Lord. I think in the previous classes also Mataji has explained that how if we are worshipping the Supreme Lord, all the devatas are happy with us, right? We don't have to worship them individually and separately. We can't do it. It's not possible. But if we are worshipping Supreme Lord, it's like watering the roots of a plant. You need not water the leaves, the branches, the flowers, and the fruits separately. So similarly here, if we are worshipping Vishnu, Lord Krishna, Lord Shiva is already very pleased. So now I'll reveal two stories of two spiritual seekers. These are again real incidences which I'm sharing with you all. Some things are from the pages of Bhagavatam, some what we have experienced in our journey with ISKCON and many devotees with whom we have interacted. So there is this one Jewish family person from the country of Chicago. He's a spiritual seeker and he comes from that foreign land, comes to India. He understands that if I'm looking for who is God, I must go to this land of saints, that is India. So he comes here and to cut it short, by divine arrangements, he reaches Pashupatinath. He has darshans of Lord Shiva. And by now he feels he is Shiva devotee. From Pashupatinath, afterwards he takes a train to go to Amarnath. And this train is so crowded. It's been 40 hours that he's not got little bit space also to sit down. Imagine he was just crushed in those 40 hours. So the train stops at one particular station and he somehow crawls out of the train through the window. This is incident of 1970. The person whom I'm speaking about is Srila Prabhupada disciple. So 1970 ki baat. And he somehow squeezes out himself from the window of the train just to, have some breather. But by the time he could get back again into the train, that train left. As it is, it was too crowded. Now he is in an unknown place completely.
Mataji,
He doesn't know.
disciple of Prabhupada, Mataji, what you said? No?
Pardon?
You said
Can you
disciple of
repeat?
Prabhupada, is it that person?
Yes. Yes,
Okay,
yes,
Hari.
yes. This personality, I will tell you how later on he takes shelter of Prabhupada. So just to what our topic concerns, I'm relating only to that, Mataji. So again, yes, I'm speaking about Srila Prabhupada disciple. So he is at an unknown place now. He doesn't know. A Westerner, imagine, who's a Chicago born. He's here, but there is one sadhu who comes to him, tells him, then he asks the sadhu, what is this place? He's saying, this is Mathura station. And today happens to be Janmashtami. Now, this personality doesn't even know Janmashtami kya. He didn't know Krishna kya hai, kaun hai. So he says, come with me. I will take you to the temple of Lord Krishna. Today celebrations, festivities are happening. Oh, really? Let's go. And he goes there. He enjoys the whole day. I mean, he watches what's happening. For him, everything is new. He doesn't know much. But as I said, he's a spiritual seeker. And then next day, he understands this is a holy place. So there must be a holy river. And people tell him, yeah, there is Yamuna Maharani. He takes bath there. And he decides to sit there, sleep there under the tree and all. But there's one Vrajvasi comes and he says, oh, you from foreign land, you have come to Krishna's abode. We are his family. So don't worry about food and accommodation and rest and all. It is our responsibility to take care of you. You are our guest because we are Krishna's family. So that day they fed him. Vrajvasi's house, he was fed prashadam. And like that, he's thinking next day I will take a train and again go to Mathura station. From there, I'll go back to Amarnath. But guess what happens? Next day, he's severely ill, typhoid. And typhoid in those days was not an easy thing to get cured and all. So he's landed up in a charitable hospital there for 2 weeks. Vrindavan 70s was a different state of affairs. Today, Vrindavan is more hospitals and all must be there. But in those days, it was charitable hospital. He's landed up there 2 weeks. He was very weak, emaciated body. But after he comes out, doctor told him, you need 2 months rest. Otherwise, you will die. You are so poorly emaciated. By that time, he's associating with sadhus and all. And by the end of 2 months, he comes to a conclusion, nothing higher, nothing better, nothing sweeter than devotion unto the lotus feet of Shishi Radhesham. So this is how the life took a turn. And later on, he meets Srila Prabhupada and he surrenders his life to him. He gets initiated. Today, he is an initiating guru in ISKCON. So see, this is a spiritual seeker. Yet another incident that I personally know about a person is, this person was very distressed. My very good, very, very good friend. Distressed, troubled in life, standing in a normal Shiva temple, wherever that person stayed in India, in one of the suburbs, and praying to Lord, why there is no peace in my heart? How can I find peace? As that person turns, after the Aarti got over, there was a board on which it was written Bhagavad Gita as it is, classes in English. In that very temple, the adjacent room. So how merciful was Lord Shiva towards both these cases? I told you, this person took up those classes and the journey began with ISKCON, and this person got initiated and doing very good in bhakti and many things I have seen. So this is the mercy of Lord Shiva that we can here understand, that he is eager, as we see here in Pracheta's case also, he's manifested himself to give them mercy, to give them instruction, and to guide them how to attain the Supreme Lord. So this we saw. Now we'll go to the next verse. Yeah, I'll share the shloka. idam viviktam japattavyam pavitram mangalam param nihashreya yasakaram chapi shruyatam tadvadami vaha. Can anybody repeat
Mataji,
once?
Mataji, may I
Yes.
recite?
Yeah, please recite.
Idam viviktam jabatavyam pavitram mangalam param nikshresakaram chapi shruyatam tadvadami vaha. May I read the
Translation as well.
translation also?
Yeah,
Yes,
both
ma'am.
Papat and translation, both are very small only. Yeah.
Okay, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Now I shall chant one mantra which is not only transcendental, pure and auspicious, but is the best prayer for anyone who is aspiring to attain the ultimate goal of life. When I chant this mantra, please hear it carefully and attentively. Purport. The word Viviktam is very significant. No one should think of the prayers recited by Lord Shiva as being sectarian. Rather, they are very confidential, so much so that anyone desiring the ultimate prosperity or auspicious goal of life must take the instructions of Lord Shiva and pray to and glorify the Supreme Personality of Godhead as Lord Shiva himself did. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Perfect. So in this, the glories of this Rudra Gita is mentioned. Whatever now Lord Shiva is about to give them, that glories of now we can see so many adjectives being used. What are the adjectives used? Pavitram, Mangalam, Param. Pavitra means kya? Pure, na? Very pure. Mangalam means auspicious. Param means it is transcendental. It is nothing which is of this material world. These prayers are very transcendental. That is Param. Nihashreyasya karam. So that means beneficial. So 4 things are mentioned about this Rudra Gita. And Lord Shiva is telling Vadami Vaha. So I am going to speak this prayer to you, which is, so glories of this Rudra Gita is mentioned. And further in purport, Srila Prabhupada writes this Viviktam word. So are these prayers for certain class of people, not for everyone? No. Prabhupada is writing that this is not sectarian. These prayers are universal, just like Srimad Bhagavad Gita is there, Bhagavatam is there. So it's not meant for a particular sect or particular country. Only these people can read, and it's not meant for others. Whoever will take benefit of that, it is Mangalam. It will bring auspiciousness to that person. It is clearly given here. It is transcendental. So he will attain that supreme goal, ultimate goal of life that is given here in translation. See, best prayer for anyone who's aspiring to attain the ultimate goal of life. So yes, in human form of life, we are all looking to attain the ultimate goal of life. In other species, we can't. So we should take the help of all these potent prayers. So going further, verse number 32. Maitreya uvacha iti anukrosh hridayo Bhagavan ahatan Shiva Badanjali Rajaputran Narayana Paro Vachaha. Kindly repeat.
Yes, Mataji, I'll read.
Yeah, please.
Maitreya iti anukroshaddayo Bhagavanahatan Shivaha Patanjalin Rajaputran Narayana Parovachaha.
Translation as well.
And purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The great sage Maitreya continued, out of his causeless mercy, the exalted personality Lord Shiva, a great devotee of Lord Narayana, continued to speak to the king's sons who were standing with folded hands.
Papat also, Mataji, chota hi hai. Haan.
Yes. Lord Shiva voluntarily came to bless the sons of the king as well as do something beneficial for them. He personally chanted the mantra so that the mantra would be more powerful, and he advised that the mantra be chanted by the king's sons, Rajaputras. When a mantra is chanted by a great devotee, the mantra becomes more powerful. Although the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is powerful in itself, a disciple upon initiation receives the mantra from his spiritual master, for when the mantra is chanted by the spiritual master, it becomes more powerful. Lord Shiva advised the sons of the king to hear him attentively, for inattentive hearing is offensive. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you so much. So this, what do we understand here is, See, in this shloka, what is mentioned is Bhagwan Ahatan Shiva. Now, abhi Bhagwan bola gaya. Shiva is addressed as Bhagwan. But again, go to the last line, it says Narayana Parovacha. So even if Lord Shiva has been addressed as Bhagwan, but immediately again in the shloka, it says Lord Shiva, the great devotee of Narayana. So person should not get bewildered or confused in this thing. Also, it is Maitreya Uvacha. Who is Maitreya Muni speaking to? Any recollections? Conversation was happening between Maitreya and Vidura. He's talking to Vidura. Yes, Vidura. Yeah. He's speaking to Vidura. So as we see in Bhagavatam, there are many conversations happening simultaneously. So yeah, so now Maitreya is telling that out of his causeless mercy, now Lord Shiva has continued to speak to king's sons who were standing with folded hands. Now here, the emphasis that is Srila Prabhupada giving in purport is mantra chanting is done by many people. But why is sometimes mantra, many people chant so many mantras, but we don't see everybody get that effect of the mantra. So here, Srila Prabhupada is mentioning when the mantra you get in during Diksha time from a pure devotee, from a spiritual master, that has more power. So it is like, see, mantra normally we feel apparently it looks like a sound vibration, right? Like if I say some words, affection, mother, father, these are words, mere words from English language. And when we are chanting mantra, some people also feel this is also sound vibration like that. But no, this is transcendental sound vibration. Lord Chaitanya says, Namna Makari Bahuda Nijya Sarva Shakti. What does it mean? The holy names of the Supreme Lord, in that Lord has invested his potencies, his energies. It is so powerful. It is transcendental. It is not material sound vibration. It is transcendental. Just like a small seed. When we see a small seed, out of that seed manifests a big banyan tree. So huge is the banyan tree. And if we see the seed, it is so tiny. Similarly, the mantras also have so much power. We can attain our goal in this very one birth. But here Prabhupada again further emphasizes is that we have to hear it attentively. When we are chanting also, we are hearing it attentively, otherwise it is offense. The second thing that Prabhupada is emphasizing is it should come to you through a pure devotee or the spiritual master. Why is it so? Anybody can just try. Why is it so like that?
Mataji,
maybe
because
that
of why, Mataji,
Yes, Mataji?
it should
Pardon?
come from the bona fide discipline like that. Okay,
Yes,
Prabhuji.
yes. Yeah. Prabhuji, what have you to say, please?
maybe that mantra he has made some tapas, means tapa.
So basically,
Hare Krishna.
Mataji, what she said, yeah, sorry. Yeah, anybody would like to say?
Mataji, I
Yeah.
feel since we are getting Diksha from spiritual master, and we are following the instructions from him. I feel that everything what he gives, it's from this disciplic succession, as how Mataji said. So that is why we are getting.
Ideally, even the Shastras say Sampradaya Vihina ye mantras Nishphala वो फलेगा ही नहीं वो निष्फल हो जाएगा if it is not coming in from a bona fide sampradaya. It is given in Shastra clearly. So it is not to be sampradaya vihina. Firstly, that is important. Secondly, the pure devotee who comes in the disciplic succession, our spiritual masters, they have so much love for the Supreme Lord in the heart. So this mantra, when it gets quoted by the prema of that pure devotee, and when it comes from his lotus lips, and when we receive it in our ears, then that Krishna prem is manifested in our hearts. Got it? Next, it acts like a forest fire. Forest fire, when there is a forest fire, what happens? Everything is just getting burnt up. Fire won't spare anything. Similarly, when we receive that mantra from a pure devotee in the disciplic succession or a Paramhamsa like Srila Prabhupada, it works like a forest fire. It burns up all our sins. clears our hearts of all the anarthas possible. And in that very birth, we are able to attain our ultimate goal if we are hearing it attentively and chanting attentively. We give few examples from the Shastras. When Dhruv Maharaj was very agitated, his stepmother had insulted him. That time his mother, Suruchi, had told him that he desired a bigger kingdom. She told him, go and take shelter of the Supreme Lord. And it seems he's always in the forest. So he's heading to the forest. Narada appears. He plays the role of a guru. And he gives him the mantra, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And when Dhruva, little 5-year-old child Dhruva, when he chanted the mantra given by spiritual master Narada, what happened? Within 6 months, Lord was appearing in front of him. And what happened? So many material desires that he had. What he says? No, I don't want. My kamana is that never ever I should ever have a material desire in my heart. Please give me that boon, Lord. I was looking for pieces of broken glass. In fact, I got a gem. That is you, precious gem. That is you, Supreme Lord. So that is what the transformation effect happens only and only when it comes from a bona fide disciplic succession and through a spiritual master who's a pure devotee. Next example, we see Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur. He was sitting somewhere in the isolated middle of the jungle and he was chanting, and one prostitute was sent to bring his reputation down and to make him fall down. What did Namacharya Haridas Thakur do? He kept his Tulsi Maharani, he kept chanting. He told her, wait, I will satisfy you. But let me finish my quota of my chanting. And this prostitute sat down, heart burning with a desire to unite with him. But hearing this Maha Mantra which Haridas Thakur is chanting, he's such a pure devotee of the Lord. He has so much love for the Lord's lotus feet. 1 day, 2 days, and finally she got completely transformed. From prostitute, she turns into a sadhavi. So this is the transformational effect of the mantras when it is got from a spiritual master. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj says, if we don't take a mantra from someone who's coming in the disciplic succession, then it has no connection absolutely. It will not be mantra chanting, it will be called alphabet nam. We're just chanting some syllables, some alphabets. It's nothing beyond that. So there's no connection with the God absolute. So this is how we understand. We go to the last shloka for the day, which is very, very important. Now, Lord Shiva speaking, Shri Rudra Uvacha Jitamta Atma Vidvarya Swastaye Swastir Astume Bhavatara Dasa Radham Sarvasma Atmane Namaha. Any one of you kindly repeat?
Shall I try, Mataji? Hare Krishna.
Yes, please, Prabhu.
Shri Rudra Uvacha Jitamta Atma Vidvarya Swastaye Swastirastu me Bhavatara Dasaradham Sarvasma Atmane Namaha.
Very nice. Please do the reading of the translation as well.
Translation पे ऐसी भक्ति वेदांत प्रभुपाद की जय. Lord Shiva addressed the Supreme Personality of Godhead with the following prayer. O Supreme Personality of Godhead, all glory is unto you. You are the most exalted of all self-realized souls. Since you are always auspicious for the self-realized, I wish that you be auspicious for me. You are worshipable by virtue of the all perfect instructions you give. You are the super soul, therefore I offer my obeisances unto you as the supreme living being.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So purport is pretty long. So what I'll do is whenever I need to stress upon, I will be telling you. So this is the beginning of Rudra Gita. The prayer originally begins from here. Earlier, Lord Shiva was just conversing with the Prachetas. Prayer begins the Rudra Gita, which is in Bhagavatam. There are many Gita you will find. You will find Uddhava Gita, you will find Gopi Gita, you will find Ailya Gita. This is Rudra Gita, Venu Gita, like that. All these potent prayers are there. Which any one of that, even if we make it a habit to recite daily, it really helps us on the path of advancement in spiritual life. So fortunately, we are doing Rudra Gita now. And so the first shloka is this. This goes up to 68 verses. That is entire Rudra Gita. So 33 to 68 is entirely Rudra Gita. So now, first word in the shloka is Jitam the Atma with varios. So Jitam means all glories. Any prayer when we take, we will first begin the prayer saying Jai, all glories. All glories means Jai. In Vaishnava culture, we always use Jai Ho, Jai. We always start the prayer Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Gauraj. Then we have Jaya Jaya Jagannath Sachiranandan. So everything begins with a Jaya Jaya. All glories. The prayer is always beginning with all glories. So this is the first thing that we understood from here. Now in this prayer, Lord Shiva is emphasizing on two things. He is praying for two things. Swastaye swastir astu me. Lord, you are auspicious. This he's saying, is glorifying Lord. And he says, let me, you be auspicious for me. So remember these, there are two things. One is, I'm speaking now, auspiciousness. Swastaye. Lord, you are auspicious. Kindly, and this is glorifying. And the second aspect of the prayer is, he is asking, making a prayer to Lord, asking that you kindly be auspicious to me. So if we analyze and understand what this auspiciousness means, according to you all, what is auspiciousness? What kind of auspiciousness is Lord Shiva talking about? Considering we all jivas, basically Lord Shiva is already, Shiva means auspicious. But it is for us to understand what auspiciousness means. So as per the scriptures, auspiciousness means our auspicious life begins when we take steps towards self-realization, right? What does self-realization mean? Having the knowledge about the Supreme Lord and understanding our constitutional position. So what is the real auspiciousness? When I understand Lord Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead, I am insignificant servant of the Supreme Lord. So that will be the auspiciousness for me when I am fixed in my Sambandha Gyan. This is called Sambandha Gyan. Who is Lord and what is my relationship with him? So here in the Purport, Srila Prabhupada writes, the people who, those who are in the spiritual world are known to be completely self-realized. Because they are Nitya Siddha, they are eternally living in the spiritual world because they are eternally fixed in one thing, that service to the Supreme Lord. But what is the condition living entities? We all, Nitya Baddha, we all living entities, we have yet not realized this thing, or we are not convinced about this fact that we are servants of the Supreme Lord. Jivera Swarupa Hoye Krishnera Nitya Das. So that self-realization, when we are self-realized, that is auspiciousness. And Lord Shiva is telling, you are all auspicious. Here the Vedas से इन्होंने कोट किया है, कथा उपनिषद से, नित्यो नित्यानाम चेतनस चेतनानाम. So Supreme Lord in the spiritual world, he is the chief amongst all the living beings. That means all the entities who are there in the spiritual world, they are self-realized, and Lord Krishna is the chief amongst all those. So then we go further in this topic. We further see what second point that Lord Shiva is asking is, he is asking, you are perfect, and now he is glorifying him and asking him that, telling him that you are perfect, and let me attain perfection by your mercy. So this is his prayer. So he asks two things in this verse. First, you are auspicious, Lord. Let there be auspiciousness unto me. Second thing that, and we understood what the meaning of auspiciousness is. Second is, you are perfect, and let me attain perfection by your mercy. So let us understand, Lord is Purushottam. Lord is Purushottam. That is, he is the Purusha Uttam. He is the topmost, right? And we have to serve him. He is Purushottam. But what are we doing in the conditioned stage? We are currently in this material world. We are called Baddha Jivas, and we are in conditioned state of our stage is conditioned stage. Conditioned stage means what? Our eyes are on the spiritual world. We have desire that we have to go there now by Srila Prabhupada's mercy. At least theoretically we understand we don't belong here and we belong to the spiritual world. So our eyes are there, but our one leg is still in the material world. As a result, we still have lingering material desires, right? So, and we are serving whom? Purusha Adama. We are not serving Purushottam. Purusha Adama means what? We are serving our senses firstly, and we are serving all the people who can satisfy our material desires. And as long as we have these material desires, even though we are going on this path of devotional service, we are doing bhakti. You know what the Shastras compare that to? It will compare that to rowing of a boat. We are seated in the boat, we are rowing. So we are laboring very hard. We are doing hard work. We are perspiring also. हम बहुत मेहनत भी कर रहे हैं भक्ति में. Chanting करते हैं, we attend classes, we read scriptures. But what is the reason we are not going in the desired speed and we are not able to really attain our goal? The reason being the anchor is not open. The anchor is still attached there. So the boat will move only when the anchor is let loose. What is that anchor? Anchor is of material desires. So that anchor, as long as it is bound, anchor of attachments and anchor of material desires. So we just rowing the boat, but boat is standing there only. So because the anchor is not let loose. So this is very important thing. So Lord Shiva is telling in this verse that you are perfect, but please bestow upon me this perfection also, so that I am able to attain this perfection. So that should be our prayer to the Lord also. Rudra Geet, when we recite every day, we have to feel that I am calling out to Supreme Lord, I am glorifying Him, I am begging for this auspiciousness, I am begging for this perfection in this life and attaining this goal of life. So this is how we take it. And we have to understand, so far we have already got this mantra, Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, from a Paramahamsa, that is Srila Prabhupada, or our respective Guru Maharajas. So when we chant this mantra attentively, when we take shelter of this mantra completely, submissively we chant and we hear the instructions. Further in that purport, it is given, Lord is eager to have us. So He is giving instructions to us. Lord, remember, is seated in our heart as Paramatma. He is the shloka that Prabhupada mentions in the purport is Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam Yena Mam Upayanti. So that He is giving that intelligence to come back to us, to Him. But are we able to listen to the instructions which Lord as Paramatma is giving to us in the heart? Tell me, let us be honest. Are we able to hear those instructions?
No,
Are we
Mother.
able to connect with that Paramatma? No. Our connection currently is not there. That's why we have a spiritual master. We have a guru who is so tuned well with the Supreme Lord. And he is in connection with the Supreme Lord. So when we make his instructions our life and soul, when we serve the spiritual master is pleased means Supreme Lord is pleased. And that's when whatever instructions that he is giving us, when we make that the goal of our life, these instructions are not different from the instructions given by Supreme Lord, because our spiritual masters is Lord manifested in the form of spiritual master. He is the representative of the Supreme Lord. So even the Shastras say that Sakshat Daritvena Samasta Shastra Uktas Tatha Bhavyata Eva Shantari. Shastras it is mentioned that he is representative. He is to be respected like Supreme Lord. So since we are not connected with the Paramatma in the heart, we are not able to hear his voice, his instructions. What are we able to hear? We are only able to hear the mind's dictates, right? So because of that, we are not able to get the instructions which Lord is eagerly giving. He is ready to give and call us back. But then we have spiritual master in the scene who is trying to help us connect with the Lord. And that's how when we serve him, we will attain the goal of our life. We will attain the perfection. The spiritual master has given us the holy name. We have to put our complete faith, chant attentively. And when we do that, this is holy name is like a touchstone. You know, that story is there. Sanatan Goswami, one poor Brahmin goes to him. He was worshipper, this Brahmin was worshipper of Lord Shiva. He prays to Lord Shiva, I am in a very distressed condition. Please give me the best benediction. Now, what will Lord Shiva do? He said, I can't give you. You go to Sanatan Goswami in Vrindavan. You tell him, I have sent you. Brahmana goes with the hope and faith to Sanatan Goswami. Lord Shiva said, give me best benediction. He takes one touchstone and gives him. Now, this Brahmin saw, this touchstone was brought out from a garbage bin. He removed from a garbage bin and gave me. Initially, he was happy when he got it, but then on the road, he's thinking, no, this is not the best benediction. He's having something more precious, higher than this. So he goes back to him. He prays to Sanatan Goswami. No, I prayed to Lord Shiva. And Shiva said, you will give me best benediction. So then Sanatan Goswami says, oh, you are eager and keen for that best benediction? Yes. Throw this touchstone in the waters of Yamuna. So 2 minutes he's thinking, oh, touchstone to throw. Touchstone is that stone, if you touch with a iron, it will create gold out of it. So, but he has faith. Oh, I'll get something higher. He goes and throws into the waters of Yamuna. That's when Sanatan Goswami gives him the real treasure. That is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So isn't that a touchstone, holy name given by our spiritual masters, by a Paramahamsa like Srila Prabhupada, by a Mahabhagavat like him? If we take shelter of this touchstone, we are cleansed, we are purified. This is the biggest treasure that we have. And this is the take home from this first verse of Rudra Gita. So with that, we close our session. If anything to, any queries, any doubts, kindly you can ask me. But thank you so much. Yeah, Rohini Mataji, I think you need to ask me something.
Mataji, you narrated 3 pastimes of the initiating Guru. The second was His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj. Who are the first and the third, Mataji?
Acha, you read Journey Home book, Mataji?
Yeah, Mataji, I've read it like, I don't know, this is 7 times. I think it's 7 times. I'm just recollecting it. Yeah.
His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj. And the one who went to the Mount Kailash is His Holiness Sachinandan Swami Maharaj.
Okay. And the last one, Mataji, the third one, you had narrated 3.
Yeah, that is a disciple of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj. This person had taken Diksha from Radhanath Swami Maharaj. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, wonderful narration, Mataji. Beautiful. I mean, it was hearing anything about Radhanath Swami Maharaj is a nectar, but even the way you narrated was nectarian.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mataji. And it is all glories to Lord Shiva, all glories to our Guru Parampara, and all glories to all the Vaishnavas. I bow down with complete reverence. Thank you so much. Any other queries for anybody? Or we can just chat.
Mataji, this Rudra Gita we find in Bhagavatam, is it? Bhagavatam prayers?
Yes. Yeah, this is 4th canto, 24th chapter. From verse number 33 to 68, every day, like there are a lot of Phalashruti also.
68. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mataji.
So we just did the first verse today. Stay tuned. Every day there will be one speaker who can enlighten all of us. It's such a wonderful prayers by Lord Shiva. We already understood the glories of Lord Shiva today.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Mataji,
yes,
today we heard about the Lord Shiva. So we know very, very meager quantum of the Lord Shiva. Who Lord Shiva? So you, after hearing this class, no, Lord Shiva is not an ordinary personality. So he is
a position. He's a topmost devotee, and he's always happy when always in the trance, always in the meditation, always chanting the holy name. In fact, one of the acharyas, right? He's called Nilakanta. Nilakanta because he took the poison and he held it in his throat, and the throat became bluish, blackish blue. Nilakanta, Kalakanta. But the Acharya says because he's constantly chanting the name and he's constantly meditating upon blackish blue personality that is Supreme Lord, that is why his throat is like this color. So that is the Acharyas have different
Visions.
depths they go into. Yeah. So this is the personality who is so much in love with the holy name, so much hankering for the Lord and the devotees. So I mean, I am unable to even glorify him, whatever broken words. But yes,
Thank you, Mataji.
his
Hare
glories
Krishna.
are very vast.